Hi, everybody. This is Luis Yades, and this presentation is entitled Prosocial Approaches to Antisocial Behaviors. Today, we're going to be observing the Japanese film from 2018 entitled Shoplifters, in which criminal behavior can be viewed as prosocial behavior when viewed through a different lens. So, we're specifically going to focus on kin selection, reciprocal, and group level altruism. So, this film depicts a tightly knit adoptive family. This is a family that has come together out of necessity, and they engage in shoplifting, pickpocketing, sex work, government fraud. But it's these behaviors specifically that ensure survival, self-respect, and dignity in social alienation in a capitalist system in Japan. So through these, we are seeing an unorthodox presentation of kin selection, reciprocal, and group-level altruism. Casson does a great job in the text of determining different motivations for prosocial behaviors, altruistic and egoistic. The altruistic is defined as selfless in nature. The egoistic is more about motivations for selfish concerns. And you can see illustrations of the father here, the same person, engaging in two sides of the different coin. When we look further at altruism and egoism, they can come together and blur lines when we're talking about a survivalist code in this example. As the family develops a system of petty crimes, these act as a bonding agent against social alienation. One important factor in kin selection is the altruistic adaptations. Adaptations are going to be a big word in this theme, but these adaptations lower the personal fitness of an individual to provide a benefit for someone else. We see that with the grandmother allowing everyone to live in her government-subsidized flat. It ensures that she's not alone and gives home to everyone else. Similarly, the mother of the family makes a huge sacrifice in the young girl that she takes in that's not even her daughter by taking a jail sentence so everyone else can kind of move on without her. One of the big portions of this that describe prosocial behaviors is intervention. In this case, by identifying and taking a runaway off the street, they hit three modes of intervention right on the head: noticing something unusual, interpreting it as an emergency, and taking responsibility for helping. Furthermore, homeostasis, very important here. The security and the mutual assurance that comes from this reciprocal altruism is demonstrated in the developing and the teaching of these learned behaviors. But make no mistake, they are dependent on this reciprocal altruism. When we look at group level altruism, we're talking about a prosocial behavior that exists in order for the group to survive. Again, a group full of altruistic members are more likely to thrive and avoid extinction than groups of selfish individuals. One interesting study that we looked at here was the organizational identity and its effect on corporations and fraternities. And this is around the impact of an organizational moral identity and how that can be created and upheld in group psychology. Although this may share similar ideas with this family, it's a polar opposite world, right? We're talking about a family that has been actually left out of any sort of organizations or any sort of nurturing facilities of any sort. So when we study the regression from the central behaviors, that can be definitely seen in the sex work, in the shoplifting, in the pickpocketing, but that system becomes the organizational identity of this family. So a similar way in which a person would align oneself with the kin established mores as opposed to the organizational established identity which we are describing here. One interesting question is ethnicity. Is it a form of kinship on a grander scale? This exploration would probably say not, given the fact that Japan has a very homogeneous culture and these are all people that have fallen through the system. So it really can be said that you're left to define your own organizational identity through the lens of this family. And through that, they develop their own reputation, and that's their social currency in a much smaller world, in a much smaller defined structure. Now again, this comes back to the genealogical, the blood relations. By including runaways and castaways in this makeshift family, the group develops a system of survival that may not be as effective if enacted by individuals. And what we see here is that through all these actions, through all of this black market work and criminal work, just as a level to maintain food and shelter, this group level altruism, this kin selection that's developed outside of the normal ways that society perceives it, Dignity, self-respect, mutual assurance of survival are all established. And given the parts of this family involved, these are pro-social behaviors, truly, even if they are criminal. Congratulations to director Corita on winning the Palme d'Or.